Mercenary Force introduced us to linktr, a development team who clearly had an eye for taking an established genre and titivating it up a bit to create a game that is recommendable but certainly not intuitive. One of those traits carries over to this Japanese exclusive, and I'll let you, dear reader, decide which I mean. Battle of Kingdom defies any obvious classification as, based on its avatar, it appears to live smack bang in the middle of the role-playing genre. You have a bunch of your standard fantasy characters to control, each with their own stats, strengths and weaknesses, with whom you're essentially trying to defend your kingdom from the onrushing forces of an evil one. However, there's no overworld, dungeons or towns or anything of that nature to explore. Instead, progression is done via moving spaces on a board. However, you don't roll a die or anything, you simply move one space at a time with no random encounters, chance cards or anything like that. So it's not really a board game either. There is also an element of a strategy game in place. You need to spend your coffers on various monsters, each of which has a unique move, usually a strong damaging attack, although not always. The stronger ones are obviously more expensive, but the weaker ones will die even when against an enemy that is identical to it, so you do need them. The weaker enemies are quickly useless due to this imbalance, to the point where there's not really any strategy to speak of. The battle system, such as it is, takes place on a wide expanse of terrain. You start on the extreme left of this, while the enemy starts on the right. You need to choose between 5 commands. The farthest left is your movement button. Choose your character and then mash B on this button to march that character to the right. Its speed is dependent on its stats and how fast you can mash. And watch the progress bar as the enemy does the same thing. It takes ages for the two to meet. Once you do, the other commands control your attacks. The regular attack is free, but the others will cost you points. You can perform jumping attacks that propel you forward, as well as faster ones that strike before the enemy can. Hope you didn't spend all your points buying a bunch of useless slimes on that first screen. This is part of the problem with the difficulty. The opponents seemingly are not governed by the same economy you are. They can just use the strong attacks over and over without recompense. Once your monster dies, you have to start again from your castle with the next one. Lose a character and they're gone permanently, leaving it highly likely that you'll find yourself in an unwinnable position. You can revert the game to the previous checkpoint using a password, but with the time it takes for these battles to play out, you might not want to. Combat is painfully inconsistent thanks to a really ropey hit detection. Attacks frequently just don't do anything, and there's no real way to tell the order in which the players move, taking yet another potential layer of RPG strategy out of the game. Battle of Kingdom tries to incorporate into itself several different genres. Sadly, none of them are really pulled off all that well, leaving an outcast of a game looking mournfully through a window into several parties it wasn't invited to. It doesn't really belong anywhere. Hey, at least it looks nice. Thanks so much for watching this video. The Kickstarter for the book is now live. Check the link in the description for how you can back the project and be the first to get your hands on the Portable Power Encyclopedia, featuring more than 900 Game Boy game reviews and a whole wealth of useful information on the world's favorite handheld console. See you later on.